just want to come on here and take the time to say how grateful I am for everyone, every single person who dedicated time and energy into looking for me. And I just want to say thank you. It means the world to me. And I want to express that in person to you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We know the saying, the truth will set you free. But for Hana Kobayashi, the truth is hidden under layers of secrets. You can run from a lot of things. Your hometown, your family, your past, your struggles, your mistakes. But this task gets pretty hard when the whole world is watching. What if someone disappears not because someone made them, but from accountability, from consequences, from the very story they started? This is the case of Hana Kobayashi, a disappearance in 2024 after missing a connecting flight to New York. That wasn't quite what it seemed. A story that unfolded like a suspense novel live on TV, but left a real victim in its wake. That was not the missing woman in the story. And when Hana returned, it wasn't answers she brought with her, but more questions unanswered.
A new twist in the desperate search for Hana Kobayashi.
We urge Ms. Kobayashi to contact her family, law enforcement, or personnel at the U.S. Embassy to let us know that she is safe.
Police now reclassifying the investigation as a, quote, voluntary missing persons case after evidence showed her leaving the country.
She was alone with her luggage and appeared unharmed.
Investigators say her social media showed signs of wanting to disconnect. The frenzy to find her started November 8th when the 30-year-old aspiring photographer left her home in Hawaii to visit an aunt in New York.
At first glance, Hana Kobayashi has the vibes of an alternative influencer from the beaches of Maui, with shallow philosophical views of the world that are meant more for confusing people than to enlighten them. Hana's Instagram account identifies her as a creatrix, Aphrodite, activist, a woman X, artist who is here to stoke your healing and creative journey. Her photos are great though. You can see her Islander heritage come through her filtered images with bright colors. At the time before she vanished, it is unknown whether she was successful in her craft. What is known is she worked for Up and Smoke back in Hawaii, and it seemed she was a great employee that never missed a shift except when she was in her travels. But her real milestone was New York. Sweet New York was in her bucket list. She had planned this trip with her then boyfriend of 2 years, Omen Miranda. Sadly, they broke up the relationship just after paying for this trip because our guy, Omen, was cheating on Hana with his DJ ex-girlfriend. Rumor has it that she was severely depressed by the situation, but then another rumor was running around her workplace before this trip to New York came to be. This rumor was actually a known secret that may shed some light to the chain of events that produced her vanishing. Her voluntarily vanishing on November 8th at LAX airport.
Friends and family of Hannah Kobayashi holding a rally outside of Crypto.com arena, trying to get more eyes on the missing Maui woman.
Oh, I'm okay, thank you.
I don't think anyone knows the feeling of urgency unless you have a family member that has disappeared. It's a feeling that I've never felt in my whole life.
For the way she was acting leading to this point, it was evident something wrong was going on, that maybe Hannah was in the middle of a mental breakdown. She deleted several Instagram posts. Friends say she was acting increasingly paranoid. One friend revealed to the media she spoke of having to fix something, that she needs a break, that she was stripped from her identity, that she was tricked pretty much into giving away all her funds for someone she thought she loved. Hannah was on the streets. These are concerning arguments when you are a family member on the receiving end. It's obvious her family was frantic and wanted answers. Hannah's mother and sister Sydney were afraid she was under the influence of someone and on the way to being trafficked. Missing posters go up. News stations share her dramatic story. People start posting videos about her online. Her father, Ryan Kobayashi, flies across the Pacific to LA to find her, and he is relentless in the search for his missing daughter. He speaks to whoever he has to speak. He tries hard to get attention from the media. He leaves not a minute of his time in LA go to waste.
It's just a nightmare. Every parent's nightmare. You know, it's just crazy. We don't know where to start, where to begin, and it's like a grain of sand in the ocean. You know, it's anything. It could be anything possible.
Hannah's father desperate for answers, but telling NBC4 he was hopeful.
Hannah, please come home. Please just come home. You know, please just give us a call. Reach out to anybody. You know.
Ryan Kobayashi wanted to do good to his daughter. There are allegations that he had his struggles, that his relationship with Hannah was not on good terms. Still, he was out there handing out flyers, hiring a private investigator. He made several emotional pleas on television, begging for help finding Hannah. We saw in real time how this whole situation was taking a toll on him. Then, on November 24th, just days after his daughter's disappearance, Ryan Kobayashi was found dead. He put an end to his life in a parking lot on Century Boulevard near LAX late at night. Now, this story is no longer just about a missing Hannah. It's about a senseless death that has never been addressed by the missing daughter, the Costes, who, according to allegations, didn't even go to his funeral to pay respects, because even if he was a deadbeat in your eyes, Hannah, when you voluntarily skip it, he showed up. He fought for you. That counts. Some daughters don't even get that.
I'm trying to plan on going to Mexico. It was brought to my attention that there's two people on here that might possibly know where Hannah is, which blows my fucking mind that it hasn't been brought to my attention, or maybe it has been brought to my family's attention. I don't know. We are splitsies, so I'm not getting any more information from my family. I never really got information straight from the detectives. It was all given to me either by one of the family members gave me the information that the detectives gave them.
It was 17 days later. That placed the timeline around 3 weeks after Ryan Kobayashi's death, when Hannah was again boarding an airplane to her way back to Maui from the place she was found on Tijuana, Mexico. This time she made it. She made news. She made it to her place. She got to her destination and was asking for privacy. She needed space for her creative journey to heal, process everything, whatever. The point is, this one was confused and didn't know why people were looking for her. I mean, her family, actually her father, because for some people out there on the internet, Hannah's mom and especially her sister Sydney may be allegedly part of the ruse.
New details tonight, the family of Hannah Kobayashi making one last effort to put this case to rest. Now that she's been found safe, they are offering refunds to the hundreds of people who helped raise nearly $50,000 for the search effort. The family updated their GoFundMe site explaining they're grateful that Hannah has been found safe and thanking everyone for their support. They're asking donors to submit a claim by December 18th to get a refund.
There was this tiny GoFundMe scandal where people were asking for a refund after Hannah was declared voluntarily missing by LA authorities. There was also the fallout with Aunt Larry, the other family member looking for Hannah in the mainland, supporting Ryan when he was in LA looking for a missing daughter that was not. The GoFundMe money was the straw that broke the relationship between Aunt Larry and Sydney.
Gonna be my kind of last day of giving these kind of updates. I think I'm gonna kind of start moving on to other stuff because today I did my official last statement in the press.
There's more to this story, but I don't want to meddle with those waters because one, I'm a broke-ass college student, so Your Honor, everything is alleged after this. And two, the GoFundMe story has so many twists and turns that it needs its own standalone video. The juicy alleged details of all this drama is that some netizens say Sydney allegedly pocketed the GoFundMe money, that Hannah's sister may be part of other GoFundMe scams. However, Sydney made a post lashing out at Hannah's new public statement. It really sounded genuine. It was actually not the first time she did lash out at Hannah, but that post was then suddenly deleted. This family is a whole confusing mess. You see, confusion is a dominant thread that runs through every part of Hannah's story. It's what makes her so hard to categorize. Is she a victim or is she a villain? The truth seems to sit in a mountain of pure gaslighting.
Just when you thought you heard the last twist in Hannah Kobayashi's life, the Maui woman's story finds a new way to grab the headlines. First, missing for weeks after deplaning at LAX. Then her father turns up dead after flying to search for her in Los Angeles, the medical examiner calling it suicide. And shortly after that, Kobayashi was tracked down in Mexico, allegedly just looking to go off the grid. Now, allegations that Kobayashi's disappearance may be related to a fake marriage designed to get a foreign man U.S. citizenship.
This known secret starts with a wedding photo taken on an undescriptive beach in Hawaii. 2 weeks before Hannah vanished, she allegedly married Alan Kakasi, an Argentinian man from Buenos Aires. It seemed this man was part of an affluent family in Argentina who, according to people close to the situation, gave Hannah $15,000 up front and then promised another chunk of cash after she helped him secure the green card. But Alan didn't marry Hannah and dip. No, he and Hannah were flying to New York for a little relationship photo shoot. You know, Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building, Central Park. Look at us, we're in love, kind of thing. All to fool immigration into thinking their marriage was legit. Again, all of these are allegations. Now, you know at this point that the scam husband and her were in the same flight, all right? But Hannah's ex-boyfriend, Amon Miranda, and his wife, yeah, he has a wife now, happens to be Alan's actual girlfriend, a woman named Marianne. Job, messy, with capital M. But let's make a little pause here so I can break down the whole situation for y'all, okay? Because this is kind of a little bit complicated. Hannah is married to Alan for the green card. Alan is still dating Marianne, who is his real girlfriend. Marianne is also from Argentina and now is married to Amon. Again, all this is alleged, okay? Who used to date Hannah. You know, Amon used to date Hannah. Amon was the boyfriend that she was for 2 years and also the boyfriend that cheated on her with his ex DJ girlfriend. All right. So somehow they all agreed to get on the same plane together. Like this is just another group vacation to NYC. Having this clear, my sweet buddies, let's move on. Hannah reportedly told her coworkers she didn't want Alan and Marianne to come to New York, but because they were her cash cows, she agreed to give up 1 day of her trip for photos to help them with their immigration ruse. Her coworker named Desiree, the one spilling the tea to the Daily Mail, even said, quote, "It was no secret. She told us about her plans." There was tension, major tension, especially with Marianne, who had gotten into a jealous argument with Hannah. Marianne didn't love Hannah had just married her boyfriend, and even less their interactions, to which Hannah allegedly clapped back, quote, "Girl, I'm not trying to steal your man. This is an arrangement we all talked about before." And then suddenly at LAX, before they could even board the connection to NYC, Hannah just disappears. With the $15K paid up front, we can't forget that part, can we? Whatever happened to her that day, it wasn't just a case of missing one flight. In my opinion, and this is my opinion, it was to keep the $15K and multiply it with the GoFundMe. But who's saying that? It was allegedly a carefully constructed web of deception, immigration fraud, excess, jealousy, and maybe something even darker. All right, guys, while I was in the middle of editing this video, I run into a very interesting update in the Hannah Kobayashi story. It seems her fake husband, or whatever you want to call him, has broken the silence. This New York Post article titled "Green Card Husband of Hannah Kobayashi, who mysteriously disappeared before resurfacing, slams her as a terrible person." And this title says, "The green card husband of the presumed missing Hawaiian photographer whose bizarre case captivated the country last year spoke out for the first time Friday." This article was written on June 6, 2025. So Alan Kakasi goes and say to this article that Hannah is sick. So Kakasi told the outlet, explaining that she offered him $15,000 to keep the scheme a secret, then failed to pay up. Oh my God, if these allegations are real, and if this is actually Alan Kakasi, this is very, very telling. He continues saying, quote, "I thought that after everything that had happened, she was going to do things correctly, but she lied to me once again," he said. "She's a terrible person." He goes beyond and says, quote, "In exchange for my silence, she promised after everything she did to return my money," Kakasi said. "But I see that is just another lies of her." Well, guys, you know, the plot thickens, and this is very telling and it's a kind of a proof that she actually was a willing part of this green card marriage scam. And my God, and when she came back, she went straight to pay him in silence, but then she didn't pay. Oh my God, this girl is a mess. And this tells a lot about her and makes you more confused, because after all, when she came back and broke her silence 6 months after she was painting this differently, you see, guys, with Hana Kobayashi, confusion is a weapon for her. But with this update, guys, make your own conclusions. Let me know in the comments about this. And let's go back to the video. Hana disappeared and then returned. That her disappearance wasn't a kidnapping, wasn't a crime, at least not in the way people imagine. For me, it's very surprising that she has not been charged for the alleged green card marriage. It's obvious at this point in 2025, Hana's trying to change the narrative. But the internet, it doesn't forget, and it definitely doesn't let go. Hana Kobayashi might someday profit from this story. A book deal, a documentary, a podcast. Maybe she's already in the works to do that for the highest bidder. And I believe that's what turns the stomachs of many who follow her case. I totally felt that way. That's why I'm making this video, as an attempt to walk down memory lane, because when pain and lies becomes content, where is the line? When manipulation leads to tragedy, who pays the price? Hana's disappearance wasn't the bad omen of this story. It was everything that led to it. The mental games, the shifting truths, the manipulations, whether by her or against her, the many secrets that she is hiding. Do we really need another Gypsy Rose, Casey Anthony, Sherry Papini trying to get a spotlight? I don't think so. That is the bad omen. And the cost was not paid by Hana. She is in this game to win, only if we let her.
Every day is such a gift. Especially after such loss and pain and suffering. We should all learn to be kind to one another, no matter the circumstances. And cherish every single moment that we can. Because we are all connected.